Get ready, Staten Island.
The Ferry Hawks host the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. Today, it's a doubleheader starting at 4 p.m. with Jewish Heritage Night. As for this game, the Ferry Hawks will play as the Staten Island Menches. Friday at 7 p.m., it's soccer night, and kids glow around the bases postgame. Saturday at 6:30, it's Broadway night with postgame fireworks and Broadway rave. Sunday at 1:30, it's Military Appreciation Day, and the kids run around the bases.
Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats. Cats and Cosby
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Breaking news, WABC.
And joining us now here on Cats and Cosby, we have Brigadier General Blaine Holt. General, you were with us yesterday, and obviously a lot of big developments happening now. Trump said he's going to stop the bombing, but he talked about Kharg Island, Blaine.
He certainly did. And I'll tell you what, if you are a foreign affairs analyst covering the Trump administration, you're going to finish this up a retired rodeo star. This is like this is amazing. So yes, everything we said was going to happen happened. It just happened in 10 seconds. So he's eliminated most of the IRGC. We have a clear shot at taking Kharg Island. But my understanding is late breaking from Pakistan, we're probably on our way to some sort of capitulation agreement where we get everything we want. We'll call it a joint negotiated agreement, air quotes. And maybe as early as this weekend, we're going to see this happen. Now, just as sure as I'm saying that, all of that could unravel in 5 hot seconds. They throw another missile at Israel, and we're off to the races again. And President Trump is going to be fine turning it back on like a spigot. The one thing that's important is he could care less what this looks like in front of the world. He just wants to get to the end game and get to his deal. And the deal is America won the war.
Yeah, that is a big deal. How much do you think the Kharg Island played a role? I mean, because he came out, first of all, he pummeled them last night, Blaine, 49 Tomahawk missiles hitting air defenses and radar sites, and basically said, you're unprotected. And then he talked about, okay, Kharg Island, all your oil resources, that's all next.
Yeah, no, that plays into this heavily because they were all banking on the fact that the United States was running out of munitions. I think they found out different last night. They were also banking on the fact that President Trump cared more about the midterms. They don't think that anymore. They've lost, I think, up to 20 IRGC generals and leaders. We're not really sure of the whereabouts of Aragachi and others. And so I think they just got shredded last night. The IRGC headquarters went down, and they know what tonight would have been. It would have been the knockout punch. And we can take Kharg Island with impunity. If that happens and the Iranian people see that, they know that they're finished.
Yeah, they do. You're right. 100%. Now let's walk through. You brought up the IRGC leaders. We were talking about that last night. Do you have any gauge on, like, did they go after, obviously some of the bunkers at homes? Do we have any more details on maybe who?
We hit general officers and colonels, is my understanding. And so I think the leadership of the IRGC changed hands probably 3 or 4 times last night. But who's in charge? I don't know. What time is it?
Are they taking resumes? Is that what's happening?
Yes, yes. There's a lot of upward mobility. It's just longevity. That's the metric you want to watch.
Who wants to be the next general?
Yeah, they'd be like, not me, not me. Now, the other thing was interesting, Blaine. He was saying, President Trump was saying that the 2 criteria, we were just talking about it, is making sure the Strait of Hormuz is open. It's free and open. That's part of the deal. The other part is, and he was really clear today in the White House saying on the nuclear, he said, can't purchase, can't develop, cannot sell. Like, he went through all these things that are clearly in the memorandum. Like in other words, you can't even look at a nuclear device. You can't even think about it. So how pivotal is that? And also, there's going to have to be so many checks. He claims that the supreme leader, he said, I understand the supreme leader, the junior one, has signed off on this.
From life support, maybe. We're going to find out a lot more as the days roll ahead. But what we do know is there is no trusting the Iranian regime. these are Armageddon-minded psychopaths that think they're going to bring back the 12th Imam, and they could care less about any agreement that they signed to get that done. And then the other thing is Israel's always going to get a vote, and if they see that this regime is going to start to be able to reconstitute itself, well, then they're going to get involved as well. So I think ultimately what we're going to find out is a Venezuela model emerges, where we find a couple of civilians that are still alive, and then we connect them to the new Iranian resistance fighters, and we form a government, and we get off on it from there. And that there's no real talk about nuclear weapons anymore, because that's the last thing on their mind, because the old Shia clerics are all gone, and they will be gone, I believe.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Judge Weinberg.
General, good to talk to you again. Let me ask you this question. So who's in charge in Iran now? Is it still leadership by...
That's the $64
$1
question.
Well, I figured General Holt is very good on breaking speculation, so I wanted to know.
Well, so I'm going to be... I'll come out on a limb here, but I would say Poly Market would probably be a better place to put our bets on this. And it's going to come down to, I think, Aragachi, if he can have proof of life, Pezeshkian, the on and off again president, and Gandabath, the parliament speaker. So one of those three, or something that looks a lot like them. But what it won't be is a robe-wearing cleric who thinks that they need to bring back the 12th Imam via nuclear weapons. It won't be that. So the theocracy is essentially gone. The IRGC will be gone. And those are the conditions that President Trump's not going to say from the Oval Office, because he's going to allow himself as much optionality and pivot space as he can get. And maybe we don't have a signing this weekend. Maybe it's later in the week. I just know that, if one thing goes the way the president doesn't want it to go, he's just going to turn the United States military back on, and we'll go take care of these things another way, which he proved over the last 48 hours that he would do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, thank goodness we have somebody with the courage right now, Blaine Holt, to take on this task. You know, I mean, I can't even imagine. We were just talking about if the White House were to change hands, how different the world would look.
And he's exuding confidence from the Resolute desk that should just strike fear into Iran when he sits there and he's mulling over some executive order that he's signing while he's talking to reporters, and seemingly half disinterested, like, it'll work out. We're going to take care of this. When you see that your adversary has that kind of attitude, you might want to go check the scoreboard. You're not doing well.
Yeah, great points. Great points.
Well, Blaine, General Holt, keep your eyes open. Always know that Rita's on between 9 and 10. And
10 to midnight. 10 to midnight. But I'm on 24/7.
Yes,
so you might as well, right?
I'm on 24/7.
You don't like your war,
too.
stick around. It'll change.
Exactly. Keep us posted, please.
Keep us posted.
I will.
Let us know.
Please.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks
Thank you.
so much.
Thanks for listening to Katz and Cosby with John Katzimatidis and Rita Cosby. You can hear Katz and Cosby weekdays at 5. It's the 5 o'clock show on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode, so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?